Robinson.
Yes, sir.
Rorschach.
Yes, sir.
Rodriguez D. Rodriguez N.
Yes, sir.
What is this?
N.
I'm on bus 2. Alright, everybody get on bus 2 only. Good morning.
Good morning.
Get to the back, Rosa.
Yo, I'm Mr. Hershey. Yo, I tried to roll in, bro.
I didn't even realize that was Mr.
Where's my lunch money?
Woo, we back again. Woo, like tape. It's back again and again and again. We don't stop. Kyrie in the lane, so I'm heading to the basket. I might catch a body, have to put him in a casket. Out here passing lanes, doing numbers like I'm magic. Call me Top Gunner, I'm the loner wolf bandit. All black snake eyes, moving in a straight line. Windbreaker, San Fran, smoking green, that's Peter Pan. I'll be damned if I ever serve where I nap at. While you niggas sleeping on me, hold up, here's a knapsack. And that's that. I was in the trap, posted up with a black hat. Got a heater on me, in his comfort zone. Tryna be king, yeah, I'm tryna touch the throne.
Yeah, every day I live, yeah, I just do. You know me, I boss a hug with my freaking crew. I be doing stop, plus you know it's so new. And everywhere I go, I'm chilling on the avenue. Got the block, got the block.
Get up! Sit down! Get up! Sit down! Get up! Get off my bus!
Hey, my boy Jerry.
I need A on the left. Right into that bay. Let's go.
Car button, bitch.
Where's my lunch money?
Guys, move over. The truck's gotta get through.
Move in.
Gangway.
This place is serious.
Shooting, you're the only one.
Now we wait. Oh.
You guys may have seen this in your class before. Quick, seniors, juniors, freshmen, sophomore, what we got? A little bit of everything?
Yeah.
Cool. So we're with the Army National Guard. You guys are currently on an armory belonging to the Army, okay? Rules and regulations. We have some weapons out here, M249 and M4. You will not touch these weapons unless myself or Sergeant Soda Cruz are with you. As simple as that. All right, we got some gas masks. We'll put you guys through the gas chamber. All right. The gas chamber. At ease. We're gonna do the gas chamber after lunch. After lunch. We gotta make sure we can see what you see. I'm gonna have a table breakdown. You guys will get hands-on with it. Again, one of us needs to be there. Safety rules. Okay, even though there is no ammo in this facility, you will not point the weapon, you will not flag anyone, all right? If you are holding the weapon, it will be pointed down at all times and pointed away from someone, okay? You will not place your finger on the trigger unless you're willing to shoot what you're pointing at. So, unless we tell you to, do not put your finger on the trigger, okay? Simple rules, regardless of ammo or not. Latrines. If you need to go, it's out these double doors right here and down the stairs. Males are on the left, females are on the right. Okay?
The Army
Alright. We have the Army's, one of the Army's versions of the PT test, which is called the OPAT. Essentially, we'll be doing that over there. We're kind of going to let you guys roll about as you want, alright? Don't get too crazy. If you start getting too crazy, I'm gonna have to shut things down, and you're not gonna have, a good time. We'll start making push-ups or something. Okay?
Just an FYI, we do have moving vehicles. The CSMS back there is working, so we do have heavy equipment out there. We do have combat vehicles out there. We do have our tow vehicles. We have everything back there, so that's fully manned. So be aware of your surroundings.
This is a working facility. There are you may see other people walking around in uniform. They're doing their daily job. Right? We got mechanics. We got supply sergeants. So we're part of the Army National Guard. All right. I kind of broke that down for you earlier. Where when I came and did presentations for your class.
I'm going to show you guys up front an actual picture of the building when there was no roadways out there. There were no houses, nothing. So remember, 102nd Cavalry as well. They're the ones that actually liberated during World War II. So this is a very highly decorated unit. They've seen combat, which the likes you've never even heard of, and probably never will. History books won't do any justice to this. We do have upstairs in the Essex Troop Room for the NCOs, we actually stole a Nazi flag from one of the liberated camps that we rescued the Jewish from, just pretty much to show them how, what the history is about. What is it that we've done for these people, and why we do this every day, and why we still do this every day. The things that we're going to show you today, besides our history, where we came from, is pretty much how it is that we operate day in and day out. Because like I said, we are a combat element, so we go to the range all the time. So weapon proficiency is golden, because without it, you're nothing. The enemy's just going to go ahead and just take over your position, and we'll never get our missions accomplished. These weapons that we have over there, the M4, is not the same thing as an AR-15. So get that out of your head. Only a fool will go to combat with AR-15. And AR just means Armory. That's the name of the company, Model 15. That's all it is. It may look the same, but I guarantee you, it is nowhere near close to what the capabilities of that weapon is. That weapon does have armor-piercing rounds. It also has tracer rounds as well. One of the things that we like to do, we'll load up an entire magazine of nothing but tracer rounds. Go out there in the dark and just light up the show. It's like Star Wars out there. Maybe set a couple of Rangers on fire with it. Even though that's not actually what we want to do, but it's still a lot of fun. And it's kind of how we release a lot of stress. But because we're also a combat engineering battalion, we also do a lot of demos. So we have C4, we have shape charges. Pretty much whatever needs to be cleared, we will blow it up. We will go through it. That's what we do. So, as we come forward, we're going to bring you guys up to our weapon systems, and I'll show you our actual gas tests.
Right up. Why are you smart?
Can we back up a little bit?
If you're in the front, take a kneel or sit.
Oh, wow.
If you're in the back,
I'm too short for this.
we're going to start off with the mainstay. This is our staple right here. This right here is an M4 carbine. This actually shoots 5.56 NATO-approved rounds. NATO-approved means that these are humanitarian rounds, however funny that is. It's not meant to maim somebody, but it is also not designed to offer any or induce torture onto our enemy. That's what NATO-approved means.
I'm going to take two.
Yeah, I got you.
So I'm going to do a demonstration over here.
So this right here, I'm going to show you guys a simple method. This is actually going to be golden for any of you that actually are trying to go. Let me go. For all of you that are actually trying to go into any active or reserve component. So one of the mainstays is we actually call sports. I'm going to actually teach you how to clear a weapon in case of a jam. Because whether you're out in the range and trying to qualify, or whether you're actually out there in the in the dirt and you actually find an enemy, this will save your life. So it's real simple. The problem with these weapons is that's because they're magazine fed. Magazine feds will actually jam up your weapons. And this happened to me plenty of times. It happens to the best of us. It's just, it is what it is. Sometimes there's not enough lubrication in the weapon. Sometimes there's just dirt in it. That's just how it happens. So we have a common, what we use as far as the acronym is called SPORTS. Is slap, pull, observe, recharge, and then as soon as you're done with that, you have to actually grab whatever ammunition or whatever it is that's jamming the weapon, trying to clear it out. Force the ammunition back into the chamber. What you do is you charge the weapon. Observe. If there's nothing in there, simple. Just release the chamber, and then what you're going to do, you're going to perform what's called an operational check. It's real simple. Put the weapon on safe. Pull the trigger. It doesn't pull back. It doesn't actually charge. You don't charge the weapon. Leave it as is. You already know that it's unsafe. Now what you do is put it on semi, because this thing does not have full auto. Only fools who go to combat in full auto. You're just wasting ammunition. This only has two modes, either semi or 3-round burst. So in order to actually do a functions check on weapons just like this, you charge, pull the chamber back, release it. So pull the chamber back, pull the trigger, press and hold it, release the slide, release it. Put it back onto semi, pull the weapon, you hear it click, that means that the weapon was charged and it just discharged. pull it back 3 times, release, just to make sure that the actual weapon is functioning. That's how you perform a proper functions check.
I won't remember that.
That's fine, because once you go to basic or boot camp, you will.
Oh yeah.
This weapon right here, like I said earlier, it's a NATO-approved 5.56 rounds. We have green tips, which are armor piercing. We also have red tips, which are actually the ones that we use to. The purpose of the red tips is to actually let us know where and what is it that we're shooting at. Because when you're firing these rounds, you do not see where they're going. Not at all. So the red tips actually has this very special metal that actually catches on fire in midair as soon as it's discharged. So that way you can actually go ahead and trace the round, why they're called tracer rounds. Now, this weapon right here, this is the Dr. Gazpacho, the Puff the Magic Dragon. I love this thing because this thing is absolutely amazing. This is called the SAW. SAW stands for Squad Automatic Weapon. So yeah, not just what is it that we actually do with people. But the Squad Automatic Weapon is actually a mass casualty weapon. This is what it's built for. It's to suppress the enemy and to kill as many of them as possible, because that's what we do in combat. Now, this weapon system can either be magazine fed or it can be belt fed. Primarily, it needs to be belt fed, because if you actually grab a magazine and it can actually fit in there, it's prone to jamming. This actually has a higher firing rate than an actual M4, hence why it's prone to malfunctioning. Now, when you're going to clear this weapon, this is a very dangerous weapon to clear. Reason being is because sometimes you'll have an unspent cartridge inside of the weapon system. And the moment you open this, which this is hot, one could blow up in your face. And it has happened before. Doesn't matter if it's a blank round or whether it's a regular round. Does not matter. It can, and I've seen it happen before. That's why when we're actually trying to clear this weapon, always point it down, keep it on your shoulder, keep your head tucked like this, find the release button, open it up, count to 5. If it doesn't discharge, then you go ahead, fiddle around with it, make sure that there's nothing in there, pull the chamber back, make sure that it's clear, close the chamber, and that is how you perform it. That's how you clear your weapon. Now, this weapon like I said earlier, it does have a high firing rate, so the barrels do get hot. In case you are pinned by the enemy, what we do is we start bounding backwards. And if we do have our squad automatic weapons, or we do have our 240 Bravos or 240 Limas, we have an extra barrel. So we can actually go full bore with these things for up to 60 seconds. If not, we will melt the barrel and the weapon will be ineffective. So what we do is we swap our barrels. It's real simple. Charge the weapon, release the handle. There's a release pin right here. And you change out the barrel just like that. Grab a new one, put it in, and it seals in. And it goes in just like that. Now, once you do that, then you have to dispense the weapon, charge the weapon, put a new belt, and get right back into it. This is what this thing is designed for. It's just to take out as many of the enemy as possible. Now, we do have the 240 Bravos. The 240 Bravos are not on display currently because we're currently deployed. It's not designed to suppress the enemy. It's just to overwhelm them and to pretty much turn them into red paste. But
That doesn't sound very nice.
it's a common joke amongst the troops. We also have what's called the M2 50 cal machine gun. We don't have that on display as well because that thing, we're using that for ECP enforcement overseas as well. Those weapons are very scary, and that's exactly what they are. And that's what they're supposed to be, because the enemy knows that you're not supposed to be standing at the wrong end of that. This, not so much. Run behind cover, you're fine. 240 Bravos, same thing, run behind covers and you're fine. Mark 19s and Mark 2 and the M2s, that's, oh, there goes your cover, there goes you. It's as simple as that. The enemy knows what is it that we're capable of and what we do. Now, this is going to be your best friend.
After lunch.
He's so excited.
This is what's called the MCU2 pops. This is something that this is what we actually wear when we're actually overseas. We have this on our person at all times, just in case the enemy does get froggy, does want to take that leap, and wants to use any chemical weapons against us, i.e. Nerve agents. They will not be using no pepper sprays out there, I guarantee you. Mustard gas, or even any viral agents as well. They will try to use that against us. Even though it's against the Geneva Convention, they're not supposed to do so. But there are actual nations out there that still employ weapons just like that. So we have what's called the MCJROTC Papa, and we also have mop gear as well. Our mop gear is basically an entire suit, and it shields us, depending on the situation, for a minimum of 24 hours in a completely toxic environment. Now, it will slow down the spread of radiation, but we also have special equipment for that to actually handle any radiological areas, and that's where our hazmat team comes in. Our hazmat team are actually trained to actually go into radiological, chemical, and nuclear irradiated areas. That's what they do. And we do have what's called the 21st CST. The 21st CST in this state is actually an anti-terrorism task force that its sole purpose is to go out into ground zeros, collect samples, and submit it to the FBI and the CIA. And that's actually part of, pretty much of the New Jersey Army National Guard. Every state that is within the area of New York City has their own CST units. So the CST is comprised of nothing but hazmat personnel. And remember, their sole purpose in life is to actually receive, collect samples to submit for actual inspection, so that way the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, or any organization out there is going to go and identify whatever the chemical agent is, so that we can properly treat people at ground zero and in surrounding areas. This was actually established after 9/11. This is kind of a precautionary measure that we've taken, especially when it comes to densely populated areas like New Jersey and New York. These guys work 24/7, especially on holidays. So on New Year's, you will see them out there. They will be out there in plain clothes. You will not know who they are. They're not supposed to be disclosed either. So this is it's quite an honor to actually be part of that team, because only the most professional can actually be a part of that. So, but for you guys are gonna learn the basics, and after some of you, this is gonna be the best day of your lives, because you're probably gonna be spelling everything. I promise you, if you came here with a cold, I found your cure. It's as simple as that. Now put the weapon on semi. Now pull the trigger again. Pull the trigger. Yeah, pull and hold it. There you go. Now charge it 3 times.
That's hard.
Now release the trigger, and that's a functions check.
Okay.
All right? So you think you do it one more time?
Yeah, I'll try.
All right, let's go. One more time.
So
put the weapon on semi. Press and hold the trigger. Charge the weapon. Release the trigger. All right, then pull the trigger again. Charge it 3 times. Remember, you got to put it on semi.
I'll just give it to someone else.
Here you go, brother. Are you lefty or righty? Righty. All right, cool. Here you go. Now, what I want you to do is put the weapon on semi. Pull the trigger. There you go. Now release the trigger. Now what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze the trigger again, and you're going to charge the weapon 3 times. Pull it on semi. There you go. That's fine. There you go. Put the weapon on semi.
That is hard, bro.
Put the weapon on semi. All right, let me show it to you guys one more time. This is how you're supposed to do a functions check. So keep the weapon on semi. Keep the weapon on semi. Pull the trigger. Charge the weapon. Release the trigger. Pull the trigger. Put the weapon on semi. Charge the weapon 3 times. Release the trigger. That's a proper functions check.
Oh snap.
Make sure the weapon is on semi. Yes, that's semi. Put the weapon on semi.
This is a new picture for Call of Duty World War III.
Keep the weapon in control at all times. Now pull the trigger. Charge the weapon.
Oh snap, my man.
And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna release.
You do it 3 times.
Then after that, what you're gonna do, you put it on semi, and then charge the weapon 3 times.
Is it on semi?
It's on 3-round burst. Yeah. So now charge the weapon 3 times. There you go. And now release the trigger. And that's how you do a functions check.
Pull together. Oh.
That's crazy.
And hard to put.
All right.
Yeah, see you get from.
You doing your blocks, bro?
Oh yeah.
Get old pro.
That man got that form.
You ain't got that form, bro.
That form down
You know
pat.
what that pro life, right? that pro life. That pro life. There you go. It's the open life and you're gonna suffer with the youth.
There you go. Pruner's love, pruner's life.
It is. You ain't know. With your feet.
All right, next.
Next.
Who didn't go yet with them four? Let's go. Watch. Alright. Okay, so hold this. You gotta take 2 fingers from here. No. All the way. Yeah, there you go. Take this to here. Take this here. Play with that. Yep. Hold. You gotta observe and make sure there's no ammo. Alright? Release. Up. Parallel legs. Parallel. Take that bucket. There you go. This down. Put it down. You're gonna push this down. There you go. Fire. Hold. There you go. Use fire around. The MQ-49. Alright, what's different about this is it's a belt-fed weapon. There is a magazine well where you could load a 30-round mag. However, you don't want that. You want a belt fed. You want 100+ rounds. Again, it's a 3 to 5 second burst. You load this up and you put ammo in here. Okay? To clear this weapon, the first thing you do, you're gonna get it like this. First thing you're gonna do is open this up, pop this open. The barrel's right here. You gotta check and make sure that there's no ammo. All right? Now. The bolt is forward on this. The bolt is forward on this. The difference being, to charge this weapon, it actually locks back in place. So now this bolt is locked back. When you lock this one, it's gonna be forward, okay? So you gotta clear the weapon like this. You gotta look inside the barrel. There's no brass, no ammo, okay? The difference with this is, you will not pull the trigger for this, okay? Reason being, is that the bolt slides so forward fast, that if there is no ammo in it, you will actually probably break the gun. Not likely, but it's possible. So, when you clear this weapon, you're checking, all right? It's automatically on fire. That's how we store these weapons. That's the only way you can have it. So I'm gonna give it to you on safe. You're gonna switch it to fire. You will not be standing up with this, okay? It's pretty heavy. When you go on your 5-mile marches, ruck marches, it sucks carrying this weapon. It's fun, but you get to brag when you finish it. You have a bipod in front. It's to help you stabilize. So when you're firing this thing, you're going up, 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 right? So you're gonna get down. Again, prone supported, all right? Your sights are here, up front. You can hold it like this, all right? You don't have to. I mean, if you want to, you can, you know, this helps. But for this purpose, all right, that's how you charge it. You push it forward, you squeeze. Just fired like 30 rounds. It's on fire. Go ahead, squeeze. Hey guys, I know you want to see, but you gotta be back this way. Oh, you gotta have your finger on the outside, okay? So you grab it like this, 2 fingers here. And you go pull, and all you're doing is you're looking inside the barrel to make sure that there's no ammo. Alright? Once you're done, alright? Pull. So there's no ammo, right? No brass, no ammo. Let go. I want you to stand right here. And you go crouch a little bit, and you go lean forward. Alright? Yep. You don't have to crouch that far. I know you're a tall dude.
Joey.
Alright, so dig this in. Alright? So this, you're gonna flick this down once. Yep. Now you're ready to fire. This hand, you're gonna pull this back. Don't cross it properly. Always treat the weapon like it's loaded. Alright? Perfect, perfect. Alright, There you go. Crouch it. There you go. All right. So put your cheek to the butt side. Okay. There you go. I don't know what I'm trying to be. It blew out a window or something. So. Crouch. Okay. First thing you're gonna do, right? You're gonna pull the chamber. So put this down.
Cuando jale.
Pero así te pones.
This stuff. This stuff down.
Oh shit. What kind of gun?
This hand. This hand. Pull back. Up and inside the barrel, right? Brass no ammo. Pull back up. Shoulder. Elbow down. Right? Rolling back. This finger. Up. Squeeze the trigger. 1, 2. There you go. Just ride around.
Yeah.
Brass no ammo, let go. Alright. Are you lefty or righty? Okay, so no problem. So you go hold it like this. So this, put it in your shoulder. Right there. Square your shoulder, like this. Square it up. A little bend. Put your cheek to the bust. Okay, now with this finger, push down. Yeah, you're lefty, so it's a little harder. So now you're going to pull the trigger. You're ready to fire. There you go, you just fire around.
Like the redo?
Me las mandas todas.
Yo tengo el video.
Hello. This guy's next to you right now. This finger, push it down.
I'm waiting to see what's next on here too.
I'm trying to save the day like if I can get the more to the bench.
Always have a different phone. My call is fucked up.
Your what? Your color? Right.
I have a other phone, but I gotta get it fixed. Like, they want like over some. They want some money to get the screen.
Gotcha.
That's all I was gonna say.
You can focus on your school stuff.
Not just.
Word.
Oh my God, how much longer is
Is that right?
Oh, he's recording this whole thing.
I got like 10
How
seconds.
much of my speech did you get?
Just like 10 seconds of like just now. Not much. Not much at all.
We started as close friends. So how you turn into that? Are you recording me? Is you recording me? Stop!
2 o'clock, 2:30. How about 2:15? Get that money, huh?
Yo, what are you doing?
Look at that money move.
Las 2:15.
Dinero. Chara.
Now, because we're in an open field like this, I'm not going to be crouching. I'm going to get low. I want to get as low as possible. Right? And I want to put let down range. So that's battle buddy. Same principle could be applied to a fire team where it's 4 to 5 people. Same principle could be applied to a squad where it's 1 fire team moving up and so on and so forth. So that's basic combat tactics.
I think we might have to set you guys up in fire teams and let you practice that.
That's fine.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
We done got together.
But he was just showing you.
I came late.
So when you're in basic, when you run through it, everybody learns this, right? It's basic soldier skills, basic riflemen and things like that, okay? So it's moving. I got you covered, battle buddy, right? So I know when he says moving, I know that I have to start shooting because they're gonna get up and move. They're gonna run up, and they're not running far. They're running maybe 50 meters, if that. because you want to be up for too long. So essentially what they do is you say to yourself, you go, I'm up, they see me, I'm down. Okay? You don't want to be up there too long. I'm up, they see me, I'm down. And then you say set, and then the next team, moving. Team up front, I got you covered, battle buddy. And that's how they know. And that's what you do. A battle buddy fire team. This is what you do basically, right? You have live ammo, and you're shooting at targets. You're shooting at pop-up.
What is wrong with Cole?
And you're moving. You're never firing while you're moving. You're getting stationary, switching to fire, and shooting. So same principle. So here's the commands. I'm moving, battle buddy. We're moving, battle buddy. We want to try and be quick as possible. Short and precise. Moving, battle buddy. That's what you say. I say, I got you covered. At which point, you get up, you run a little bit, and get back down. Well, why don't we want to be like right here? That's easy target.
I know it's his.
Service goes off. You're going to start off. So you're going to say moving. I got you guys, buddy. Yeah, they leave the front.
Mark, they see me up there.
And what do you say? Okay.
Wow, I quick that one was out.
Okay, so I'm going to say moving.
The Cusco. I Cusco thing, and it was right there on the dog, and I got really soda.
I'm going to say set. Now what do you do? I got you covered.
Fam, you cannot go down and touch your toes and tie your shoes.
No. Thanks.
That involves payment. I'm sorry. That was, she was just, what do you,
Gotta get that stretch in.
We gotta.
she went from help me to becoming a stripper, like that. Oh, that.
Where are we going?
We're going chow. Oh, what?
Oh my gosh, I thought this was
Something light.
Gael, you did a horrible job.
Oh, yeah.
I know I did.
No.
Come here.
No, she'll do it herself. Oh yeah.
I don't like
See?
tiny kids.
Huh? So right now we're going to chow. Then the gas chamber volunteers. I think he's been pinned. That is terrible. Come on, CO. Weakling.
It hurts. It hurts.
Just, I'm just take your drink real fast and your water bottle.
No.
Could've squished you. You wouldn't got hurt. It would've been more enjoyment for me. It would've been more enjoyment for me. Don't scratch your face out for me. Ow!
What you know about that?
That's there.
Hey yo, you told him to sit on him? What? You told him to sit on him?
Yeah, he sat on his own.
time Muslinsky and Victor wrestling, Muslinsky sat on it. That's how good.
Oh shit. Got you, dog. 1, 2.
My back's off the ground.
3. That's one again. Whoa, oh, you're neck by body. Oh my god. I'm scared. For him. Stop. Listen, wrestler. What? No.
Two.
This is not a good idea.
Major fan copy. Yo, I hit no
Should I jump on him? Should I jump on him?
Huh?
Should I jump on him?
Jackie! Come on, Jackie!
This. What am I looking at?
Someone go! Joey, come on, Joey. Come on, Joey. Come on, Joey. Come on, Joey. Come on. 1, 2. Idiot, I have to be on my back. Yeah, you gotta get down there with
Oh, you're a mom in the crowd or something?
You got 1 week, Joe.
It's been a minute. Yeah, a legit minute. Like a literal minute. Nah, that's that guy thing.
Oh, you went wheelbarrow race. This way.
That's one more.
It's classical.
Different, man.
Why you let it do that?
I'm big.
No!
Come on, Theo.
I had him too, bro.
Why say? Oh, shit. We're going to go see the Henry. That's what he said.
This is actually one of the MI buildings that we have as far as storing all of our MI equipment. So as you can see right back there, we actually have our SATCOMs equipment. This is what actually keeps the communication going between us and the Pentagon. It's extremely important position because without proper communication, we cannot maneuver around our enemies. This is what we use to find out where they are and to keep them in the dark of where we are. It's as simple as that. All the equipment here is up armored. All the equipment here will be manned by top secret personnel. That is why you're not allowed to go inside of this building. I don't have the authority, neither do you. It's as simple as that. As far as the equipment and what their function is, we're not authorized to pretty much, say it. So you can record this. None of this, pretty much everything that's in here is already readily available on Google. So it's not going to be, you can take a picture, you're not going to get in trouble for it. But all these equipment, especially those domes that you see, the R2D2s as we like to call them, those domes is actually what transmits and receives and also amplifies information to other central locations as well for other HQs. So whenever we're out of range between FOBs or between commands, and there's no way that we can actually relay information from one unit or from one company or from one base or FOB to another, we set these up in between those to receive, amplify, and transmit their coded information. And that coded information cannot be translated by anyone else but our own. So that's all I can really say about this. I cannot say anything further because, like I said, this is MI. We're going to move on. We're going to do this little...
Got me going through tight spaces, fam. Can't say it yet.
These vehicles right here, this is a HEMT, alright? This is what we use for transportation of all, materials, ammo, supplies, food, building materials, right? This is essentially a 16-wheeler that you'd see on the turnpike or anything like that. I mean, it's gotta get someplace, right? Parkway, we call them MSRs, main supply routes. All right. If you join the Army, active, reserves, National Guard, 88 Mike, transportation. This is what you be driving. A lot of this. You actually get your truck driver's license for joining an 88 Mike. You got a tractor right here, good for engineers, plowing. Go ahead, Sean.
This right here, this is specifically for 12 Novembers.
Yep.
12 Novembers are heavy equipment operators. This right here is actually a finishing grade machine. This is actually what we use to resurface either unimproved roads or pretty much dirt paths just like this. This is what this is for. This can also be used in a combat role in order to assist the 12 Bravos after they detonate the actual specific ID or munitions on either other roadways or in any crevice or any other type of terrain, so that way the enemy does not know where we're at or where we were operating at. But this is just like your normal grader that any construction, basically if I were to strip the paint off of this, it would say Caterpillar, it would be yellow. The only difference is that this one can be equipped with up armored plating to actually keep you safe out on those missions. The maximum speed is 13 miles an hour. It is all-wheel drive, but the all-wheel drive system is not driven by the actual diesel engine. It's actually hydraulically operated. Everything here, including the power to the wheels, is actually hydraulically driven. This right here is possibly the most comfortable equipment that I've ever been in. It's got air conditioning, it's got a radio, it's got everything I ever need, power seats. I think short of massaging you in the back, that thing has it.
So a lot of these vehicles that you're gonna see here, you got the Humvees behind you, the six-wheelers over there, they're called LMTVs, light bulb transportation. A lot of these are, they're going to be behind enemy operations, except for the LMTVs. They're for troop transport. Okay, Humvees nowadays, most of the time nowadays, you won't even see them off base. They're more for on-base transportation. Even the up-armor Humvees, you won't see them off base pretty much anymore because we have the vehicle called the MRAP, which is just a Humvee on steroids. Those are the things that you'll be seeing outside the gate, outside the wire. So every unit, pretty much, regardless if you're support or a frontline unit, will have an LMTV and Humvees. It's whether you have the helmet and things like that that'll make a difference. So regardless of what job you join, you'll probably get hands-on with a Humvee and LMTV. So
everyone will have that on their driver's license.
Yep.
Everybody who joins the Guard will drive a Humvee. You will be licensed on it, and you will be proficient in that equipment. And you will know the difference between which Humvees perform what roles. You can see that some of them still have actually weapons mount on top of them. That's really more for security.
Yep.
Those are held at ECPs or entry control points. So where you guys just came in, you saw that little shack with the bar that comes down to control the traffic. That's an ECP. We normally would just have a Humvee out there. We have barriers out there. Troops would be manning it. One would be on top with either a 50 cal, and usually it will always be a 50 cal because a 50 caliber, any M2s, is actually considered to be an anti-material weapon. And the reason why we have M2s out there or 50 cals is because they're not designed to be shot at people. They're designed to be shot at vehicles. That's what they're called.
A 50 caliber bullet will go through your block of a car like it's nothing. Right?
It doesn't matter if it's iron block or aluminum block.
If a 50 caliber bullet, which is pretty much the size of my hand total, if that were to hit a body or a limb on a person, it turns into a pink mist. It does not exist anymore. That's why they're considered anti-vehicle and not anti-personnel.
You can also see right here, we're going to move over here, you can actually see the difference between these.
I don't even see those behind you.
Because we can actually take them up a 40 to even a 60 or 70 degree grade and they will not topple over.
It's a hill.
So it's basically, this is 70 degrees. They can literally climb walls.
It may not be fast.
Not be fast, but they can climb a wall. That's what these are designed for. That's why they're so wide, and on top of that, if you look underneath the vehicle itself, you're going to see that there's no drivetrain down there. you're going to see that the suspension components are actually set up higher. You're going to see that right here inside of the wheel hubs, these are called portal axles. And that gives it that extra ground clearance that the vehicle is going to need. Because the higher the vehicle is from the road, the less impact that any mines or any IEDs are going to be placed upon the vehicle. So there's going to be less energy applied, or less kinetic energy is going to be applied to the vehicle itself. But if you see MRAPs or JLTVs, you see that they're V-hole shaped, because a V-hole is actually far safer than will be a flat, plain hole, just like this. Why? Because it disperses the energy away and outside from the vehicle instead of the vehicle absorbing the entire impact. That is why you will never see a Humvee from now on out in country.
Who here is mechanically inclined?
Who's rolling?
Alright, so maybe you'll get a kick out of this. Does anyone know where the blinker fluid is in the mechanic shop?
There's no blinker.
Thank you. There is no blinker fluid. Alright, some of the best jokes for new privates in the military is a sergeant will come up to you and say, go give me the keys for the Humvee. Alright? Humvees do not have keys. There is no ignition switch. There's an ignition switch. There is no keyhole. The way we secure our vehicles is, one, you're on a military compound, so if you start driving a Humvee that you're not supposed to, someone's going to find out real quick and you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Two is we actually have steel locks that go on the door. We also have locks on the steering wheels, but there is no actual physical key to a Humvee. Second thing that you might hear is we need an exhaust sample. They'll make you go get a clear plastic bag, hold it up to the exhaust, and make you walk around with empty plastic bags. It means nothing.
Okay. All I see is tree. I know what none of this stuff is.
Gone.
I'm screaming.
Define gone. Yeah. Define gone.
I guess this is all the define what?
Define gone.
Gone?
Yeah, you said gone. Define gone.
Gone?
G-O-N-E.
Gone is no longer present.
Oh, see? Senior Fisher. They want a senior Fisher. But we're missing one of them. Oh, this took us in the Fisher. Even though we had like one or two seniors that wasn't there. I wanted to get it on the Humvee, but wasn't space. Cool view though.
Where's the orange at? The orange.
What orange?
It says West Orange. Where's the orange at?
Ah.
Right there, those cones.
Oh yeah.
Where's to the east?
Man. Nice tree. I always thought like if you was like look at the trees, like from right here, when we get there it'll be like straight forest, like the movie Anaconda. But it turns out it's just more houses. Listen. They playing no game. Come crashing down. Oh my goodness. Then there's this one over here. I don't know what this is. What is this? I ain't seen more there. Hello there. Then you got this over here. Gotta get sacrificed. Oh, no turn. What is this?
Keep going!
What's this?
Jackie! Here, go on there. Go on.
Is that pyramid? What's this? Pyramid? Look at the captain. What's the guy doing? Get down. Roll over, boy. They buy you the bread, bro. The bread. Come on, all you out of shape people. What? Hey yo, come back over here. Let's get some 3D action. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. You can't even see him no more, man. Alright, we finna leave some mean slope. I'm going on bus 2, he going on bus. You know what I do, wait, what are the people with the age on? I do not remember. Man, you know what? Oh, I'm about to finesse me and fall. Take the slope.